4 years ago, when the legendary M1 released, it quickly gained a loyal following. Back then, when it came to power efficiency, no one dared to claim first, when itself claim it is second. The key question now is whether the M4 can surpass its legendary predecessor, or has it transformed into a power-hungry beast like others computer chips nowadays? Let's dive in and find out. The test models for M4 and its scaled-down version, which we'll refer to as the Cut Edition, both are tested using latest iMac. The Ultra version is represented by the Mac Studio, while all other models tested are MacBook Pros to ensure consistency. Due to limited access and time limit to the borrowed devices, certain data points could not be fully tested. Furthermore, variations in device age and memory configurations should be considered, making the results in this video for reference purposes only and not definitive. Thank you for your understanding. First, let's take a look at the first chart, M4 lineup of this year. Apple has shown sincerity with this year's M4 lineup. Notably, the CPU performance of the Pro version is now approaching the Max version. Additionally, the memory frequency stands out an impressive 8,533 MHz, even on the base M4 model, which comes with 7,500 MHz. This improvement has a significant impact on the performance of the integrated GPU. When compared to current Windows lightweight laptops, Intel's maximum memory frequency currently is 8,533 MHz, while AMD tops out at 7,500 MHz. Next, let's discuss about memory bits width. Across the board, Apple has doubled the bits width for each variant. For comparison, the desktop class RTX 4090, the most powerful gaming GPU, features a memory bits width of 384 bits, while the entry-level RTX 4060 offers 128 bits. In this regard, Apple's efforts are indeed commendable. Insights from the data above, Apple's strategy with the M4 generation appears to center on leveraging the affordable Mac Mini to expand its PC market share, likely as part of a broader initiative to optimize its proprietary AI ecosystem. The key distinction between the Pro and Max versions lies in their GPU capabilities, with the Max offering double the GPU performance of the Pro. We will stop here at their specifications. A more detailed analysis of their performance difference will follow after discussed all Familia specifications. It is notable that Apple is prioritizing its power efficiency by maintaining a consistent 4 performance core and 4 efficiency core architecture from the first generation M1 to the current M4 cut. But thanks advancements in architecture design, this hasn't hindered performance improvements. When it comes to the GPU, it holds little significance for users whose primary activities involve web browsing, document processing, or video streaming. Its true potential is realized by professionals in fields such as video editing, animation, or 3D design. As for gaming, the ecosystem isn't quite mature enough yet, so we will skip discussion for that. It's intriguing to imagine the potential return of the Ultra chip, which doubles the performance of the Max. Back during the M2 generation, there were even rumors of an Extreme chip, an even more monstrous design that would have doubled Ultra's performance, of course at double power consumption. In my opinion, the primary challenges for such chips are likely power consumption and cost. Otherwise, an M2 Extreme would already match the performance of 2 M4 Max chips today. Based on data during that period, the M1 Max's CPU similar the performance of Intel's i9-11900H laptop CPU, and the M1 Ultra's CPU delivered performance equivalent to the i9-12950HX laptop CPU, which was a flagship-level chip back then. I wonder if anyone is still using the nowadays. Those who could afford it back then have probably upgraded their laptops right. We can see that the M2 Max's CPU performance is comparable to the i7-12700H, which was considered mainstream at the time. As for the M3 Max, its CPU performance is on par with the flagship i9-13980HX, offering impressive performance and rivaling today's M4 Pro. The M3 Max's GPU performance is similar to that RTX 4060. However, it's worth emphasizing that Apple chips are still not ideal for gaming. The comparison is purely based on performance data, as Apple's Rosetta still need a big effort into its translation layer. Now that we have a better understanding of the specifications of Apple's M series chips, let us now turn our attention to today's main focus, the performance comparison within the M family. First, it is Cinebench 2024. Cinebench 2024 CPU testing primarily evaluates a CPU ability to handle complex computational and rendering tasks. By simulating professional scenarios such as graphic rendering and animation production, it assesses performance metrics like computational speed, stability, and efficiency. If you're a designer who frequently uses 3D modeling software like 3ds Max or Maya to create intricate models and scenes, the Cinebench 2024 CPU score can provide an indication of how well your computer performs with such software. A higher score suggests that your machine will complete tasks like rendering models, calculating materials, and adding lighting effects more quickly, reducing wait times and enhancing your productivity. To clarify, due to the single-core performance improvement from the M1 to the current M4 Max being less than double, we'll skip single-core comparisons here. From the results, we can see that the M1 Ultra, M3 Max, and M4 Pro exhibit roughly similar multi-core performance, while the M2 Ultra, even after 2.5 years, still holds its ground. Looking at the CPU, you might think the M4 Max is underwhelming, but no worries, let's check out the next chart. Next, we move on to the Blender benchmark. Blender is a powerful 3D modeling and rendering software. The Blender benchmark test primarily measures a computer's performance when using Blender for tasks such as 3D modeling and rendering. This includes evaluating CPU and GPU rendering capabilities, model processing speed, and scene loading times. If you frequently use Blender for tasks like 3D animation production, architectural design, or game scene design, the results of the Blender benchmark test are highly relevant. A higher score indicates a computer that can import large 3D model files more quickly and complete complex scene rendering tasks in less time. This allows you to view the final rendered results faster, significantly improving your creative efficiency. With the introduction of ray tracing technology starting from the M3, Apple has achieved significant advancements in rendering performance. As we can see, even the formidable M2 Ultra gets thoroughly outclassed in GPU performance by the ray tracing enabled M3 Max. What surprised me is the substantial GPU performance boost of the M4 Max compared to the previous generation M3 Max, jumping from an RTX 4060 laptop level to the previous generation RTX 3070 laptop. This also explains the widespread speculation online that the M4 Ultra's GPU could rival the RTX 4090. This makes me even more excited for the potential GPU performance of the M5 Max. Let us have a look to the next graph. Let's guess, is Apple become a power-hungry beast? As expected of Apple, despite a slight increase in power consumption compared to the previous generation, it still delivers a significant advantage when compared to the average 100-watt power draw of Windows laptops. This is even more apparent when compared to gaming laptops, which typically consume 150 watt to 250 watt. And as for Ultrabooks, their integrated GPU still can't hold a candle to the M4. If you're a PC enthusiast, you'll notice that the widely accepted entry-level GPU standard nowadays is the RTX 4060. In the ever-evolving world of highly realistic and visually intense modern games, the RTX 4050 barely serves as the entry ticket. Unfortunately, its 6 GB of VRAM keeps facing bottleneck when running some games at 1080p. Alright, getting a bit off topic here. Do you now understand why Apple stopped making an Ultra version, starting with the M3? The 120-watt performance would increase thermal management challenges, drive up costs across various components, and add weight to its laptop. That's just not very Apple. Let's take another look at Apple's trump card, its energy efficiency. This chart shows the ratio of maximum CPU performance over full load power consumption. We will include the GPU performance as well in the next chart. Why separate out the CPU chart, you ask? Because in everyday usage, the CPU is utilized far more consistently, whereas the GPU might only be lightly engaged. Now you understand why the M1 was such a groundbreaking success at the time, right? With the shocking 521-point score, it was truly a monster that no competitor in Windows operating system could even touch M1 shadow. Even though the M1 was incredibly power efficient, the M3 and M4 Pro have since caught up. Then, the M4 surpassed them all, becoming the new star. This perfectly illustrates the saying, the only one who can surpass Apple is Apple itself. Finally, we have the energy efficiency chart with GPU performance included. As expected, ray tracing is a game changer. The M3 managed to push the M1 off the throne as soon as it arrived. It's surprising to see how the M3 Pro and M4 Pro managed to overtake their own base versions in an impressive move. Looking at the M4 Max, it's clear it's giving it everything it's got, pushing to its limits. While it does surpass the legendary M1, it still falls short of its own Pro version, which is a bit of a disappointment. At this point, it's easy to see why the M4 Mac Mini captured the public's fascination the moment it launched, much like the M1 version did back in the day. With its competitive pricing, impressive energy efficiency, and double memory upgrades compared to its previous, it has undeniably attracted a wave of new fans. That said, I feel the M4 is still missing that extra edge. Personally, I am more lean towards for the Mac Mini M4 Pro. The main reason is the CPU upgrade. It's now on par with the Max version. While the GPU for professional use has half the power of the Max, it still ranks as the fourth best overall, which is quite impressive. The conclusion is, for everyday use, the M4 chip offers significant improvements in both single-core and multi-core performance compared to previous generations. However, if your daily usage mainly involves browsing the web, watching videos, or general office tasks, your current device can still provide a smooth experience. For M3 users in particular, there does not seem to be a strong need to upgrade. For audio and video producers, according to benchmark results, the M4 chip delivers impressive performance in audio and video rendering tasks, in some cases even matching the capabilities of the M2 Max or M3 Pro. This makes it an excellent value for money option. Compared to the standard M3 and earlier generations, the performance improvements are substantial, making an upgrade highly recommended. Of course, for users in this field, it's often hard to stop at just the M4. Opting for the M4 Pro with additional memory is a logical step for those seeking even greater productivity and efficiency. Testing isn't easy, and although the Apple M4 has been out for a while, it's still worth providing a performance reference for those who haven't purchased it yet. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share. That's it for today's discussions. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.